In this video, we are going to talk about how to factor ax² plus bx plus c and a not equals 1, like this. 3x² plus 11x minus 4, a equals 3 is not equals 1. And last video, we already talked about if a equals 1, like this, is pretty much easier. So if you missed out, please check out that video. So let's get started. So first of all, let's look at what is called factoring, what is called expanding through examples. So this is a factor form, right? It's a two binomial multiply together. I want to expanding. This is expanding form since in the standard form, right? So we want to factor in, and so from this side to this side is called expanding. From this side to this side is called factoring. Factoring is opposite expanding. Expanding involves multiplying, like this 2x minus 7 times 3x plus 4. We have to do the multiplying, follow the distribute property rules. And factoring involves looking for value multiply this factoring, and then we have to find out the multiply two binomial multiply together, right? And let's look at how to expand this two binomial multiply together. Okay, so this rectangle, so it's this dimension, suppose it's 2x minus 7, and its length, and the width is 3x plus 4. So we are going to fill out the table. Okay, select pen. Okay, so expand 2x and times 3x, right? This is 2x times 3x, 6x squared, and 2x times 4, and 8x, right? So here 2x times 4 is 8x, and then negative 7 times 3x is negative 7 times 3x is negative 21x, and constant multiply constant is 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. Okay, so we get the term, every single term, that's a copy. So you know it's only one x squared term, right? And plus 8x minus 21x and minus 28, right? So we can collect like term because they have a same x term. So cx 6x squared plus, and this is 21, and 8x should be negative 13x minus 28. So we expanded it, right? So this is a final form. So look at this, cx squared minus 13x minus 28. That's what we want, the forms. Okay, so look at this. 6 is A, right? And the 13 is B, right? So negative 28 is C. So this is a standard form, right? Standard form. Okay, look at negative 28. How come negative 28? Okay, negative 28 is a product of two numbers, 4 times negative 7, right? The product of two numbers. So should be negative 7, right? So positive 4, and multiply equals 28, negative 28, right? So for the A equals 6. How come 6? 6 is from it's 2 times 3, right? Okay, so it's a 2x is a 2x, two factor, so they are a coefficient together, multiply together, so it's a 2 times 3 equals 6. So this is A, right? This is A, this is C. So how to determine negative 13? That's B, right? So okay, so let's look at the cross. We cross out. This cross out. So 2, 4, and multiply equals 8, right? And for this diagonal, negative 7 times 3 equals negative 21, right? Okay, look at this table, right? 21 is this x term coefficient. This 8 is this x coefficient. You see, if we add negative 21 and 8 equals negative 13. So okay, we lay out the product of 6, 2, and 3, and negative 28, negative 7, and 4, right? So let's select another color, this one. So this, and this. 2, 3 is product of 6, right? 6 is product 2 and 3, and 2 and 3 is factor of 6. 7 and negative 7, 4 is a factor of negative 28, right? Negative 28 product of these two numbers, right? So we lay out 23, this is A, and negative 20C. Where is the B? B equals, you see, the cross multiplication and add them together. So, understand? Yeah. So, if we go back, so this expanding form, if want to factor out, so look at the negative 27, right? Same thing, this, right? We already do it, but we do it again. So, C and B is A, right? So C is negative 27. We can factor out 7, 4, right? 7, 4. So it's a negative 28. So for the 6, it should be 2 and 3, right? So that's a 6. And cross out, same thing, right? Cross out is 8. This negative 21. This is negative 20 plus 8 equals negative 13. And and this is B, and 6 is A, and negative 28 is C, right? So we look at two layout 3. Let's get another color and make the clear. So 2, 3, negative 7, and 4. Actually, here should be x, right? So 2x minus 7. So we can do a copy here. 2x minus 7. It's like a row, right? Like we do a table here. And this row, we copy 2x minus 7. And the second row, 3x plus 7. Plus 4, right? We factor out. So we can follow these rules, right? And we can factor out any expanding form in quadratic expression. So if it can be factored. Okay. So yeah, let's move to next to solve the factor 3x squared plus 11x minus 4. So we follow the rules we just did here. So we see we find out this is A, right? A equals 3, right? And this B, right, equals 11, right? B equals 11. This is C equals negative 4, right? A, B, C. Okay, so we lay out. So if we want to factor this expanding form, we have to find out two factor that with two binomial multiply together, right? So we put negative 4 here. It's actually is a constant. C is something like 4 times 1, maybe negative 4. We don't know. Just leave here. And what about 3? A, right? A equals 3, right? This C equals 4, 3. What was 3? 1, right? 3 times 1, right? So 3 times 1 equals 3. Negative 4 times equals 4. It's correct for the s square coefficient, right? So what about cross multiplication? Cross multiplication and will determine the b value, right? So if you look at negative 1, the 1 multiply negative 4 equals 4, right? Negative 4. 3 times 1 equals 3, right? So if we add this cross multiplication together, and then equals negative 1, it's not equal 11. So this guess is wrong. So we can use try error, right? This try error is not correct. So we have to find another layout. Okay, so what about 3, 1, just leave here. So this is A, right? A, 3, 1. And B look like negative 4 and 1 doesn't work. We can change, right? So what about we switch 1 to 4, right? So because this 11 is positive, right? Positive, and here we leave the positive here, and then the negative. Okay, so we do the cross multiplication. So this equals negative 1, this equals positive 12. Okay, add these two number. Okay, equals 11. Okay, 11 is B, right? B equals 11. So we got B. Right? So look at this. Right? So this first row, so we put x here, this is a second row. So, and we just copy 3x minus 1 and x plus 4. We factor out. And let's check it's correct or not, right? So 3x times 3x equals 3x squared, and 3x times 4 equals 12x, and negative 1 times x equals negative x, negative 1 times 4 equals 4, right? Negative 4. So 3x squared, keep it. So this 12x minus x is 11x, and minus 4. So we expand the factor form. Okay, we get back to original expanding form. Yeah. So the look like it's a little bit complex, but actually, if you do more questions like this, it's become easier and easier. So remember, so important things you can do the try and error. And try, guess, and test, guess, test until you get familiar with it. Okay, so let's do the summary. If the quadratic expression ax squared plus bx plus c, here a not equals 1, can be factored, then the factor have the form px plus r and qs plus s. It's supposed, right? It's a two-factor binomial where pq equals a and pq and rs equals c and ps plus rq equals b. Look at expanding this one. So we collect two like terms and see pq should be equals a, right? So it's actually pq is two number, so come from a, and rs is come from c. So and rs is a factor of c, right? So ps plus qr should be b, right? So this is a rectangular area mode. And let's look at this example, right? So in order to factor 3x squared plus 11x plus 6, so what about we first write down the two binomial, right? Two factor, ps plus r, qs plus x. We don't know p, r, qs. So we can using guess and test, right? So we know we should find out the b equals 11, right? ps plus qr should be equals 11, right? So what about the pq and rs? So you say the pq should be p times q should be equals 3, right? 3. So pq we can try 3, 1, and r equals 6, and can try 3 times 2. So we lay out and fill in the number. Okay, ps plus qr equals 9. It's not correct. This should be equals 11, right? So we try another one. Okay, it's not correct. And then we try another one. Okay, if p equals 1, q equals 3, 1, 3, r equals 3, and s equals 2, and then ps plus qr equals 11, right? So we find out the pq, rs. And then we just substitute the number into this two factor, right? The binomial. So s equals 1, p equals 1, right? It's x, and r equals 3, s plus 3. And q equals 3, right? Q equals 3. Substitute here. Q, x, 3x, and x equals 2. Okay, so we find out. So yeah, that's it.